You never get to really have this fan experience to where you can hang out with them. And so Gene and Paul and Tommy and Eric, when we decided to do this 2 years ago, you know, we're skeptical about being on a boat with all the fans, you know. And we've actually had the best time. I mean, it's been it's because of you guys. I've been doing this 35 years with the biggest bands in the world, and you guys are the best fans I've ever seen.
We got some questions for you, Doc. Up here,
Cool.
Okay, here you go, sir.
Hello, Doc. I am Lincoln, a Maine native, and now I'm in the Air Force, so I'm kind of wherever. My question for you, after last year's Q&A, you talked about Motley Crue. You talked about the cat shit being bigger than the cat. And then the tour was announced. I was amazed after what you said during the Q&A last year that decision was made to pair with Motley Crue. Could you explain how that decision was made and why?
Well, I don't always make great decisions. No, it was actually, you know, Nicky and Tommy and Vince and Mick have been good friends of mine ever since we split up in 1989 at the Moscow show. So, you know, we've talked about it. One of the reasons why I hadn't done it earlier was because I thought it was too similar of a show. You know, that the fan experience, it was just more pyro, more things, you know, that were the same. But when we really sat down and talked and put together a great production, I think it was a really, really bang for the buck for the people, because they got to see two different types of music, two completely different shows. Motley was just, you know, over the top circus, and Kiss was Kiss. So it really turned out to be a great show, and the guys really got along tremendously, you know, well. Which, you know, when you have to try to get dogs and cats to live together as one, it was a little bit of, you know, moving around, but that's what we do.
Thank you, Doc.
All right, on the other side over there, next question, Doc.
Hi Doc, my name's Alan from London. Over the years you've managed my two favourite bands, which is Kiss and Motley Crue, so thank you for the tour, that was brilliant. Could you tell us a bit about the pros and cons of managing Kiss and Motley Crue?
There wasn't really any pros and cons on the tour, because it went really smooth, and Motley was a huge Kiss fan. I put Motley Crue on Kiss in 1984. We did 2 shows with them, and they were just such huge fans that I think the respect that Motley has for Kiss really went a long ways, because they talked about it, they you know, did shout outs on stage, and so I think there was a really good respect factor between the two of them.
All right, over here, next question.
Hello, Doc. My name is Parker Scroggins. I'm from Oklahoma. 43 years old. I've been a KISS fan for 35 of those years. My question to you is, next year with KISS being their 40-year anniversary, is there anything extra special planned for them?
Well, we're going to get Gene to lose some weight. No, actually, we've looked at all new technology to try to give the fans a better experience and a more over-the-top show. You know, like I said last year, you know, if you're going to run with the big dogs, you can't piss like a puppy. So you have to come up with new ideas and new gags, and I believe the Monster. You guys heard some of the Monster songs. Most of them sound like they should be in a KISS show. You know, it doesn't sound too crazy, or so like you go, oh fuck, I gotta hear a new song now. So, So we're gonna, the show will be bigger and better as always.
Thank you.
You go.
Doc, I'm Doc from Rochester, Minnesota. I got a two-part question. With the Ace Frehley Strange and Unusual Thing, with all the bands you had, what's a word or the strangest thing you had? And with the current lineup of KISS, what's the most bizarre or unusual thing that's happened?
Oh, Jesus. I could be here all day. Both of those. You know, with the lineup of with Ace and Peter, it was torture. It was an everyday torture situation. You know, and it was kind of like four guys playing together that really didn't want to play together, and which I hate. Which I think is and I think it translated a little bit to the outside of the reunion tour that we did. It looked like they were mailing it in, you know, and I'd have to stay out of every night to get them motivated to do it. And when we lost 300 pounds of bad news between the two of them, it brought Tommy and Eric in. It's just been a dream. These guys they're funny. They have fun together. We're always together. You know, it's like that we're not gay, but we're always together. And we're best friends. It's every night. You know, we go to dinners and go out, and you know. So, and I think that this is the best lineup musically that you could, you know, that you could. There's a million stories of how dysfunctional it is, but with this lineup, I believe that this is the best show for the people, and I can't believe. I think Tommy plays amazing, you know, and Eric's one of the best. And I've had a lot of great drummers, but Eric is just an amazing drummer. I always kid Eric because, you know, he doesn't feel like, you know, he's not the original member, so I would say to him, "Hey Eric, what are you doing Saturday?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "You want to come over and paint my house?" So we have a lot of fun with each other. So.
All right, next question.
Oh, Doc, I'm wondering if you could tell Gene and Paul, thank you for me. Back in 1985, I was at the Silent concert up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they were asked by my aunt and uncle to dedicate a song for their son that was killed in a car accident, and they dedicated "Tears Are Falling" in the concert for him, and I just started crying. I'd like to ask you to tell them thank you.
Oh, you know, thank you. And this is no bullshit. These guys are big fans. That's how they started the band. They wanted to have a band that they wanted to go see. Okay, so and they've always tried to take care of the fans. I think their meet and greets are the best meet and greets that you can do with the acoustics. And they seriously spend time. I mean, they're having a really good time, and they can't. And we're going to do this again, you know, and again, and then again, and then we'll do the, you know, the wheelchair.
Thank you very much.
Here you go.
I just wanted to know, I watched the Gene Simmons Family Jewels, and watching him on Gene Simmons Family Jewels, you wouldn't think that he might always want to go on a cruise. So I was just wondering, was there any trouble getting him on the cruise?
Well, you know, Gene's not the most adventurous guy. I mean, he went on vacation once. You know, he kind of quit school because it was recess. You know, he likes to work and marketing and this and that, and I go through 800,000 emails a day on that. So But it wasn't hard to get him on the cruise because he knew that it should be close to be close to the fans. They were all so blown away that they got to play where you guys were right there, because we never get a chance to do that. And so, you know, they always have barricades, and they always have 16 guys out there, with muscles in their shit, and not allowing anybody to get close to the fans. And we were talking about last night, they said it was so cool that we were almost walking in the audience, you know what I mean? And people were taking picks off their guitars, and and it was so, they were just having a great time. And that's what this is about, This is a payback for you guys and them, because they don't get to do this. They never get a chance to do this. And if you notice this year compared to last year, they're all on the boat walking around, having fun. They're not hiding in their rooms, you know what I mean? So, Paul's, he's out everywhere, and so they really like the connection with the fans, because they talk about connection with the fans, but they don't really get a chance to, pick your brain, talk to you, me either. When I talk to fans at shows, they go, "Oh, that's the best Kiss show I ever saw." I said, "What didn't you like about it?" Because that's what I want to hear. Because that way we can change it. That way we can change it for the fans, because it's not us up here playing for us. It's us playing for you guys.
Hi, Doc. My name is Scott Armstrong, and I'm from Kansas City. Two things. First, a comment. Second, a question. The first comment is thank you for having these cruises, because this is my second one, and last year I met the love of my life on this cruise. In the Sonic Boom package in 2009, there was the disc of 15 re-records of classic songs. I don't know about everybody else, but I thought those were fantastic with the current lineup. Any consideration being given to do some more re-records of some other classic material?
We've just put together about a 5-year program with Universal to go back in and take stuff that nobody's seen and nobody's heard, and put together, great original packages, because I think that's what, more so than just hearing, Strutter done for the 16th time, or 26th time, or 150th time, on the record, that we put together packages that mean something, that has enough content that is different, so they're collectibles. They're kind of like pieces of art. And so that's what we're planning over the next 5 years to do that.
All right. Thank you very much. Congrats on your new love.
I mean, we're not afraid to sell shit.
I've only been a fan for 3 years, but I know a lot of the histories. Like you said, you've been managing some of the biggest bands in the world for 35 years. What was like the most frightening ordeal that you had to deal with when managing any of those bands?
Jesus, there's things that when you would sit there in a hotel knowing that any day you could walk into a bedroom and one of them would be dead. Because, these guys a lot of them were just out of control at that time. So that was probably the biggest fear that you would have, is that you're going to lose one of them, and then, which would be horrible. And then, the car crashes and the arrests and the biting was always good. When bands bite people, that's always good. So, I think that's more, and also, managing bands, it's like, especially young bands that are blowing up, most of them have less than a high school education, They only got in a band so they could get laid. Not very good musicians to begin with. And then they want that lifestyle. They want to be the bad boys. You know, they want to, you know, low IQ, high RPM. And so turning them around to find their path so they can stay here for 40 years and not die at 27. The people that can't handle that type of success or afraid to lose it. You know, so I think those type of things are, you really have to spend a lot of time with people, kind of molding them and finding their path.
That's it. Here we go.
Hi, Doc. My name is Debbie from North Carolina. This is our second KISS Cruise. For KISS Cruise 3, would you consider inviting Bruce Kulick and his band?
No. No, I'm only kidding.
We're going all for the fan shit you're talking about.
No, we've talked to Bruce about it, and Bruce will probably come on one of these cruises. I mean, they're all great friends, and you know, I mean, Eric's been in and out of the band several times, and Bruce. So I mean, they're all very good friends. So yeah, we would consider it. I think he was doing something though. I think we did talk to Bruce about it. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, we talked to him at the expo, and he's so willing to come. So.
At least we have Bruce fans. That's for sure.
That's awesome. Good.
Hi Doc, I'm Keith. I'm over from Scotland in the UK. I would just like to ask you, are there any UK dates being planned for next year?
I didn't get that one. And were you from Scotland? That's why. We're separated by a common language.
Are there any UK dates being looked at for next year? Are you going to come over to?
Yeah, we're putting together different tours now. We actually leave tomorrow night for Buenos Aires. And then we do Brazil and Paraguay and stuff, and then we come back. We have Australia planned in March. We have Japan in March. We have May and June in Europe. We're going to do it to several, but we'll do like 3 different legs of Europe. We'll do like 3 weeks on, and then off, go someplace else and come back. So it'll be a little bit different type of a tour than our grind, and we want to do some more of this stuff in special nights for charities and stuff like that. And we went over to London last year. And we were big for the Wounded Warriors and that. So we work with we've donated over $1 million to them this year. And not just here, but we went over to England and played a free show for the military for all the, you know,